Hey, you guys, it's Debbie from My Vagabond Style, and I'm here today with an interview. And I'm really excited to bring you this gal. I have been following her on Instagram forever, and I found her and we just kind of chat a little bit back and forth. We exchange jokes, but we've never actually met in person. So we're I'm going to bring her on and we'll have a little chat. But this is basically we're just going to flip through the Marguerite Miller collages and visit and hang out and see what we have in common. So here I'm going to add Beth in. There she is. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Debbie.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. I'm so flattered that you asked me to do this.
Oh my gosh. You guys, you need to look at Beth's Instagram. She is an amazing collage artist and she doesn't even realize it. You need to realize it, girl, because you're fabulous.
I have to own it, right?
Own it. Yes. So if you want to follow her on Instagram and look at more of her stuff, she's under B Stauff 8. That's BSTAUFF, the number 8. So with that, I'm just gonna ask Beth to tell us a little bit about herself, whatever you want to share.
Oh boy, there's so much, right? My name's Beth, and I live in Brookfield, Wisconsin, which is a small suburb outside of Milwaukee. I'm married to my husband Dave for 24 years, and we have 3 boys and a girl ranging from 17 to 23.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a full house.
A busy household.
They're all, I don't want to say big, but they're all, they take up a lot of room. And then we have 3 dogs to, complement that. So
to complement the chaos, yes.
Oh my gosh, yes. And 2 of them are on the bigger side, and then of course with the little one. So, so I think, really, that sums it up, I guess. I have been a stay-at-home mom since 2001. So I've taken care of my kids, which was just, I would feel so fortunate to do that. Right. And now I'm kind of on call to take care of my mom, who is in assisted living, and more than happy to do that and have the flexibility to come and go as I please.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole, I think things have changed a lot for in this generation here, so many people are living longer that I'm almost getting to the age where my kids would take care of me.
Yeah.
But we've still got the parents.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough, but I mean, we're so blessed to have them still with us, right?
Oh my goodness. Yes. And my mother-in-law's birthday is coming up, and I won't mention her name or her age.
Right.
she would not be happy. But I keep saying to my husband, she's gonna be 80. I can't believe it. She's gonna be 80. And it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing.
Right? Yeah.
Never thought my parents would get old.
So how long do you craft every day? Do you do any of your artwork daily or?
Well, I think I shared with Debbie, I've fallen behind a little bit on the Marguerite Miller challenge, but I try to, when I'm on a good roll, 2 to 4 times a week.
Nice.
And it's just the inspiration is kind of stops me in my track, and I just kind of stop what I'm doing and start collaging. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's definitely my happy place. I so enjoy being able to do this whenever I want.
Oh yeah.
That hasn't always been, I remember still working and going, man, I just want to stay home and do artwork.
Yeah. And I was the thing that gets in the way, of course, is life. But when I started, I guess really getting into crafting was with scrapbooking, and I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to scrapbook every day, all day long, and it couldn't happen at that time. Other responsibilities, and now it's just things have changed, and you squeeze it in when you can.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have one of your collages handy that we can take a peek at?
Sure. I pulled one out because it was kind of like the moment where I'm like, I kind of understand this. I kind of get like how to do this. And it is, let's see, it is week number 6. Oops.
I know it's all backwards, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw that one. Did I?
It was
week
early on. And the prompts were something plastic, space,
oh, right.
Yeah. And
that was good.
Text paper, I guess something from a newspaper or magazine, name of a family, and instructions. And I found this guy in a book that I bought, for a couple bucks. It was like a children's encyclopedia, and this came up with astronaut, and then the other space things. Wrong way. The other space things I just added. And I feel kind of like when I did this, I was really brave, and I don't want to say I just plopped things down, but it just kind of went, this looks nice. This looks nice. And then I looked at it at the end and I was like, hey, this looks like a real collage.
Yeah, it's so good.
So it kind of started me having a little bit of confidence and getting excited to do the next one.
Yeah, well, that's a special time when you kind of feel like something like just hits you and you're like, okay, I got this. Yeah. That's
and
so good.
It makes you feel good when, let's face it, if then the next week you kind of have a clunker, you think maybe the prompts just didn't, work with my taste or whatnot. And so, yeah.
Right.
So, and then I have this is another one that was kind of like a non-clunker. And this was week.
Can you put it up to the camera just a little bit more? Oh, yes. Okay, up a little higher. And then over. There you go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a good one.
I loved it because
so fun.
The pictures, thank you. The pictures came from a magazine that we get, I think it's monthly, called Our Wisconsin. And it's such a fun magazine. And it has, stories about goings on in Wisconsin, the history of Wisconsin, people who lived in Wisconsin, and they have these photographs printed in there. So it's kind of like a double whammy. Like I'm looking through a photo album and I'm getting great stories and recipes and shots of nature. Yeah. And so I really love the baseball aspect. And then I found a little cheerleader on a vintage sewing pattern.
Right.
So, yeah.
And don't you love that? Like a lot of times I like when I mix the illustrations with regular photos. Like it seems to work. Like, I would never think that would work, but it does. Like, let me see here. One that I did that with. Now you think I could find one, but no.
I thought I was really organized, and then all of a sudden, what am I going to say about this collage?
Like this one. Here we go. This was from November, week 46, November 12th. Oh, let me switch me. Hang on.
Okay.
I need 2 hands.
Yeah, you got all like the technical control things here.
So this.
Oh, I love that one.
Sorry, the glare is really bad.
No, I can see it. It's good. I love that one.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I had done the similar thing where you cut out the windows and they have something behind it. And I love that idea because it's something that looks like it's expected, but it's really like, whoa, it's unexpected. It's a nice surprise.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so fun to do those.
Like, it is. It is. I think this is fun because like with scrapbooking, you want to take care of your memories and make it look all pristine and stuff. And sometimes you can just get kind of silly and random.
Uh-huh.
And I love that idea because I think you think about abstract artists and maybe more like 20th century, 21st century art. And it is like a lot of unexpected images.
Mm-hmm. Do you do anything other than collage? Do you do any watercolor or?
Oh, well, I took an art class in high school and wasn't my thing. I was not very good.
Oh.
But I always liked crafting. I, did embroidery with my mom and kind of cross stitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked anything, crafty. We tried rubber stamping for a while, and then I got kind of hooked on scrapbooking.
Okay.
But I feel like I have I don't know what to say, creative edge. I have a bachelor's in music, and right there, it's like I feel pretty creative in that respect.
Mm-hmm. And definitely, like in your collages, I see that you've got a great idea for composition. Like it just comes naturally.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I like in your collages that you always have a main focus, and it's usually an image of a person, and I love that. I like because for you, it's your jumping off point for telling the story. Those are your characters, and I really like that because there's so many beautiful not even vintage, beautiful images of people like interacting with nature or animals or that kind of thing, and I'm really inspired by that with you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think we have a similar aesthetic to our collages for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you like? Do you feel like doing this Marguerite Miller challenge has made you develop a bit in your creativity and direction with collage?
Yeah, I do. I think, like I was saying, it's made me braver, taking a few more risks. And I also think, like we were talking before we started recording, like I feel okay about spending money on a good magazine or ephemera or a new collage book, or I started doing the gel printing.
Prints?
Yeah.
Well, you're doing those?
Yeah. And
so fun, right?
It is. It's something where I feel like I'm kind of a painter, but not really.
I was just saying I need to break mine out again because I don't have any here in I live, for those of you that don't know, I live part-time in Mexico, and so I have a lot of my craft supplies there, and I couldn't bring everything back as much as I wanted to, and as much as my husband thought I did, because our suitcases were completely full.
Yeah, and they think that a little bit is like the whole stash. It never is.
And I was like, I can go without those pair of jeans or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm taking clothes out so I can bring
my what is that roller thing and my jelly pad? Yeah.
Yeah, and I also do a bit of junk journaling, and so like I've made some ephemera, and I don't put a lot of the junk journaling on my channel right now because I feel like my channel's gone more towards the like collage, watercolor, mixed media collage.
Yeah.
So but I do enjoy doing the junk journaling, and so I do that sometimes on the side, and you guys don't see all that.
I still want to try doing that because it looks, what's the word? It's so eclectic, you know, and things don't have to necessarily go together. It's just I see a lot of like color coordinating kind of things, or telling a little bit of a story. And I like the idea also of blank space in the junk journals, that you can have some blank space. And I think that's something I struggle with, is I shouldn't say always, I frequently feel like I have to fill up the space. And sometimes blank space is, it's okay.
Yeah, because you want to leave something for if you're giving it to someone or for yourself, so that you can, actually tell some stories in.
Exactly. And then they can add their own twists and turns and touches. And yeah.
Yeah. So I have tons of, like, my thing is making the ephemera, not so much the journals.
Yeah.
And I was just gifted 2 journals that were partially, pretty much all, they weren't done all the way. They gave me a bunch of things that I could make more ephemera to stuff in them.
Yeah.
So one was given to me by Susan Gazaway as a 50 or 500 subscriber giveaway. I won that.
Watching that one.
And then I have another video coming out that is a junk journal that Barbie gave me from Nellie and Ruth Designs. And so those were perfect because although I don't mind making the journal part, I enjoy making the ephemera much more. And that's where I started.
That looks a little bit more like an easier way to, not easier, less intimidating way to start out. Because the videos I watched were, you're sewing the pages in and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it looks overwhelming in the beginning for sure.
So I like the idea, especially when you take like a book that's already existing and adding to it, or I like that idea.
So why don't you show me another layout?
Okay. Well, this one, and I even like did a little journaling on the side to remember like how I was feeling when I did this. This is, let's see if I did this right. This is week 29.
Oh, I remember this one. Yes.
And I used the thing I didn't like about the prompts, I ended up liking in the end, it was something dark. And I kind of had, that was kind of one of my jelly print rejects. But I saved it because I'm like, well, it's a pretty color and who knows. Yeah,
there's kind of no rejects, right?
Yes and no, because even if like you look at the thing as a whole, there are sometimes pretty little spots that you can just cut out to mix and match other things with. So, but this one, besides, the darkness, I felt like I was being kind of silly. And I wish I remember how it all came together, but I saw the picture of the gal mowing, using the lawnmower. And then the cityscape had that patch of grass. I'm like, oh, well, I'll put her mowing the lawn. And then I was flipping through cookbooks, and the challenge called for a short word. And I found, I don't know if you can see it. It says like cut in 1/4 inches or slices or something. And I'm like, cut, ha, she's cutting the grass. And I felt to myself, I'm like, that all fell together, and I had the wherewithal to recognize how all those fit together.
Right.
So yeah, I think this is one of my favorites that I've done.
And I think that that one's really good. I love that one. The thing that is interesting to me is like sometimes I'll look at those prompts and I'll be like, there's no way I'm going to come up with something that these all match. And sometimes it takes me forever to find them, and sometimes it falls into place. But a lot of times the ones that I struggle with finding each element are the ones that I end up loving the best.
Oh, well, it's like you had to kind of put the work into finding them and fitting them together. I want to show you one. One of the prompts was smoke or fire. I'm like, oh, I can find a campfire. I could find, something really obvious. And then I was going through an old magazine, and I'm just like cigarettes, smoke. Oh my goodness. And I was really proud of myself that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you finding all of your vintage images?
Some of the vintage images, like I feel like I find in that Wisconsin magazine, they're just kind of respected. But I think I have like a couple vintage McCalls. I have some vintage like knitting books with like great fashion and granny squares and the rainbow colors.
Oh my gosh, granny squares.
love.
Right?
And then I also have I got a ton of ephemera. Don't tell my husband. But a lot of images from like old pamphlets or of course greeting cards. But yeah, it's just so fun to see how different things used to look. And why don't we have that now? Why are the images in our magazines that interesting or that pretty?
Right?
It's like a lost art.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And I noticed that like my sweet spot, the ones I like are from like 1957, 58 to about 63.
That sounds about right.
Like 50, if I find something that's 58 or 59, I'm like, I know I'm going to love it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was, I don't know, great fashion, maybe more innocent time.
Yes. Right. For sure.
Sometimes I giggle when I listen to my mom and my mother-in-law talk about, parties back in the day and stuff, and how they wish things like that were still going on. And then I'd be like, oh, whatever. But then you think about it, like things just seemed a little bit more special in terms of entertaining, or getting dressed up.
Yeah, nobody went to the store in their pajamas. It just didn't happen.
My goodness. And I would say to this day, my mother-in-law she gets very dressed up to go to the grocery store and does her hair and her makeup. And then there's her daughter-in-law who wears her sweats and, thermal fleece.
So we live in a 55 plus community here. And so all the people here are pretty much retired. There's a few that are still working, but for the most part, everybody's retired. So we have time to do stuff with each other. And it's like a second childhood, let me tell you. It's crazy. Like we're all riding around on golf carts and bicycles and playing pickleball. And my husband plays pickleball like every day. And we go over to each other's houses for happy hour or playing cards.
That's awesome.
It's like so crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, my husband and I say this to each other a lot. We have like all year round, we have like a string of like flashing lights, like Christmas lights. They're a little more upscale. But we put those on every night because it's a party every night as we're, sitting around watching, Netflix and stuff. Doing things like that. Yeah. And then it was funny that you said like reliving your childhood. I watch a reseller on Whatnot, and she takes like old cutesy vintage ornaments, like teddy bears and little figurines, and they look like they should go in the trash. And she takes them and she adds on just like, I just got one the other day. It was Santa Claus holding a gallon of ice cream. She turns it into something kind of new, and it's kind of fun to when she's laying out all these elements to kind of play around with the images in your mind or see what other people come up with.
Do you have it handy?
I will get one. I actually got one for each of my kids and my husband and my mother-in-law and my mom. And I thought it would be really fun on Christmas Day to have them open them up in front of everybody and see, like, I tried to like customize it to their likes. And so this is the one I got for my oldest son, who now I'm looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, my oldest son has a beard. And he used to have kind of like the sandy brown hair. Oh, and by the way, her name is Tina Sea Monster, which I love her name. And it's just really fun. It's like just hanging out with a pal. But he loves fries and burgers. So
did you tell her that?
Yeah, she had all the little elements there. And I just had to pick, what do you want me to glue onto this guy? And you don't have to glue.
The kind of shabby little ornament that really, she just revived it and gave it a whole new life.
Exactly. And she likes to say, no one else will have an ornament like this. And it's true. It's true. It's just for you.
How cute is that? And so those of you that don't know, Whatnot is a reselling platform, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And can I show you one more that she did?
Please do.
I got this one for my mom. When I was, I don't know, 9 or 10, she made a Santa Claus costume for my dad. And he wore it for many years, and now my brother's wearing it, which is hilarious. I got her little Santa. I'm like, okay, that's like my dad. And then he's holding Jell-O because the running joke with my dad was, he hated Jell-O and he hated mints. So that's kind of like me, like thumbing my nose up to my dad.
Oh, that is so cute. I love it.
But what's old is new and reinvented and revitalized. I love that idea so much.
Yeah, just being creative and finding new life for things. That's awesome.
Well, you think about like what we're doing when you take images from an old magazine or an old sewing pattern, you're giving it new life, new purpose, new beauty.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah, that's fun. I do enjoy that too, like finding something that and then making it go in a spot where it's not normally at.
Well, like we've been saying all along, like the unexpected.
Yes. I'm trying to see, like, let's see, have I done, this one was fun. Let me go to nope, I added that one and I need to move us around. There we go.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is fun. Just, although this isn't really unexpected, but it's fun to just kind of cut different ads up and place things around in different spots.
Well, I also love how you in there, and I don't know if it was purposeful, but all the blues all kind of connect the whole page together. And I love that.
Thank you. I didn't mean to do that. It just happened.
It works for me. It works for me.
This one was fun.
Oh.
This one was week 27.
27. That's really funny because in week 28, that's what I did.
Hang on, let me switch you. Oh, very similar like vibe, right?
Totally. I bet that's where I got my inspiration to have the confidence and the bravery to cut her out of this pamphlet. And I thought, if I don't cut her out, she's going to live in my drawer. So,
right. And that's the thing. I hope, I really wanted to, I call it crack the hoard this year.
I think about that all the time.
It's like, why I have all this stuff, I need to use it. And I still sometimes have a hard time because, especially if it's a really good magazine and I don't want to cut it up.
Yeah.
I'll make a copy of it, but I am trying to use more of my things instead of just hang on to them and cherish them.
Well, why not? And I mean, you probably will enjoy them more paging through your collage book, otherwise like thumbing through page after page in a magazine, and you might miss something.
And I think before I was thinking I might want to save them because sometimes when in Mexico, I've done classes at my house.
Oh, okay.
And so I wanted to keep a lot of the images because they were a little harder out there to find.
Yeah.
So really, once I use an image, I'm probably not going to use that image again.
Right. I would say the only time I shouldn't say the only time. When I frequently like copy something, it's usually like I had this great, I could probably even find it, and I just opened it up to it. I don't like this layout as much, but I love the image of all.
Hang on, let me make the big
models.
There you go.
Yeah,
yes, that's fun.
And
lower.
I wouldn't want to, or lower, not close up that.
It's hard. It's backwards.
Exactly. I wouldn't want to cut it out of the magazine because I can use that over and over again for like one wine bottle or, making an order or putting a wine bottle in somebody's hand. So I get that.
Yeah. So anyway, and we were talking about before we started the recording about whether we were going to do it next year. You are, I'm going to for sure. But as long as Marguerite puts out the prompts, we're still waiting on that. And I'm not going to air this for a while. So maybe she'll already have them up by the time this comes out. But it would be nice to get a hold of those and start looking at them.
It would be. And the other thing that I've noticed that I've done a couple times is I've gone back to collages that were kind of like the junkers or the clunkers. And I have redone them just for kicks.
Now, when you
But
say done them, are you just adding and kind of tweaking them a bit, or are you starting over?
I'm starting over.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I've only done that with like a handful. And I really hope she does the prompts again, but I've got a couple other junk journals that I've kind of fallen off the face of the planet with that I want to work on. And then I also bought a couple cool recipe binders, vintage recipe binders that I would love to, I don't know if collage is the word, but incorporate my mom's recipe cards in.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. And then put lots of vintage, images of, pies and cakes and cookies and that kind of thing. And have it more as a family heirloom.
Yeah, that would be great. You could hand that down for sure.
Exactly. And maybe I would make copies, for myself to use, when I'm actually cooking. And then put the good ones in the album so that they stay pristine.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, we've been on about a half an hour, so I think I'm going to let you go. And I so appreciate you coming on here and being brave. Yay.
Well, I just have to say, Debbie, it was amazing to meet you. And again, I'm so flattered that you asked me to be a part of this. And now I'm motivated to start catching up.
Yeah, for sure. Right. I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Yay.
And so please go follow Beth on Instagram. You will be so happy you did. She's got beautiful work there. And I just so appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Debbie.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
Sounds good. Bye.